Okay, I just decided to go ahead and do this from a different device, but I wanted to go ahead and get this word out to you guys because I believe that we are literally down to the wire here. I absolutely believe we are down to the wire. So I want to make sure I get this word out so that everybody, who may be on the fence, who has been following the prophetic journey, will have the opportunity to utilize the information for what they feel that it is worth. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this content, but at the same time, I want to make sure that everybody understands to know that I'm operating on two different devices. So if I'm looking away from you, it's because I'm actually pulling this also up on my computer, which was having the issues. So, so here we go. However, I want to make sure that everybody understands. Ooh. Hang on. So I want to make sure that everybody understands I am not a financial advisor. The information that I'm sharing with you guys is prophetic in nature. And so it's going to be up to you to decide, whether it has to do with myself, a word from the Lord, or remember the Chinese food that I may have had for dinner that night. That is entirely up to you to decide. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys a recap of the prophetic for those of you guys who may be joining for the first time. But please do not get off this broadcast because I'm about to share with you something that could be potentially very time sensitive. The first thing is, guys, on August 21st of this year, the Lord gave me a dream and said that XRP was going to begin to take off in a week to a week and a half period, and that we would have a good Christmas for me and my family. When I released this dream, originally I interpreted it to be a week to a week and a half from that day. That's not what he said, however, in my dream. That was just my interpretation. So when I thought that it was going to happen by the 31st of August, naturally, when it didn't come to pass, I began to ask the Lord questions, and of course, also submitted myself to some other prophetic voices who had me to consider that it may have meant another week to a week and a half. But I knew it was a word from the Lord, and I had told all of these prophets that. However, I said, if I need to be corrected, obviously let me know. And one of them, like I said, mentioned the consideration that it could have been a different week to a week and a half. Sure enough, I said, fine. Well, I originally said in my dream that I believed Christmas was significant, that it wasn't just God saying, you're going to have a good Christmas. In other words, like Merry Christmas. I think God was basically giving me a clue and a timeline. And I stated that from the beginning. So a few days after my original dream, I had a second dream where I saw 92 cents specifically. Fast forward to November the 5th, when XRP began to take off. It hit on the 10th day, a week and a half later, 92 cents exactly. Okay. Since that time, we have had the CEO, Brad Garlinghouse of Ripple, which is XRP, state on Fox News during an interview, it's amazing what can happen in 10 days, specifically a week and a half period, which is what God had given me in my dream a few months prior. The second thing is CNBC, I think it was CNBC, just announced on their news networks that XRP is the leading crypto concerning profitability since the Trump election. So God knew all these things. God knew all these things a long time ago. Okay. And these things that the people are now saying, that the news networks are now announcing, these were all things that God told us in advance. So I'm going to pull up a couple of comments because I believe it is definitely important to discuss this. However, it would probably work. There we go. First thing is this, guys. We have D Towers who said, is it this Christmas or a future Christmas? Guys, I've been getting that question for a long time now, and it boggles my mind as to why. Because, guys, we already had in that dream several of those prophetic clues already being fulfilled. Now, what I'm about to tell you here, okay, is the opposite of what Martez is describing here. Nobody needs to lose heart, because guess what is about to happen? All right, watch this. I'm going to bring on my market analysis that is being used by professional crypto traders. I'm actually, this is actually very interesting. Somehow, when my internet was failing earlier, when I had to jump off and redo this, this got messed up, so I have to do it again. But here I'm going to go ahead and share with you my screen. All right. What we've been having, and I've shared this with you guys on a recent video, what we've been having here is a bull flag formation, whereas this line right here, this green line, is the flagpole. Now, this is all market analysis, okay? And what the professional traders use to determine what's going to happen, okay? Up here is the flag formation. I'm going to go ahead and draw out the trend lines so that you guys can see. Actually, I have to move this a little bit in order to do it properly. This is the flag formation. And I got as close as I possibly could. But I want to share something with you guys that is incredibly telling. Incredibly telling. So this is the trend line. The way you do it is you go to the top of the candle, and then you connect basically 3 in order to find the trend line. And then it just continues on. And then here, it's the similar thing. Looks like I had that a little high. And then you can see this here. You know, over here on the 10th of December, which was 5 days ago, okay, which was 5 days ago, it actually dipped just below the trend line. I'm going to see if I can actually even make this bigger. You can see here, it dipped right below this trend line, where that candlestick came right to about there, just below the trend line. I was on the phone with the trader who is my professional advisor, because remember, I'm not a professional trader. However, I have taken the crypto course that's in the description section below. If you want to learn how this stuff works, it's really, exciting to have kind of an upper edge knowledge of the charts. But what I'm about to tell you is that according to market analysis, we're about to blow up XRP, guys. And what I'm here to tell you is that it may be as early as tomorrow. And the reason is this: because not much happens on the weekends according to institutional trading. Institutional investors, institutional traders, institutional, corporations who move the big dollars, okay? They operate primarily on the weekdays. And so what I'm about to tell you is this, guys. When you gain breakthrough outside of the trend line, okay, it can be a very good or bad thing. In other words, right here, when it broke out the bottom, I was on the phone with the trader and he says, it's not looking good, John. He says, it's not looking good. And I said, well, brother, I'm here to tell you that we're going to have a good Christmas because that's what God spoke in August. Now, some of these people that I work with, they're not people of faith. They don't follow the word of the Lord. They follow market analysis. They follow. And so even the Forex trader that I was working with earlier in the year, that was, he was the first one to see my dreams coming to pass. And I reached out to him a couple of weeks ago and I said, hey, did you ever get into XRP? And he said, no, I didn't. And I said, listen, man, I said, you were the one of the ones that saw these dreams come to pass. I said, I'm really disappointed. I said, because you would really do potentially very well if you got into XRP. And I'm really disappointed that you didn't, because you were one of the ones that saw the validity of these dreams. I'm talking about, he saw, I would have these dreams of where the market was a day. The one day I shared with him, I had a dream and I said, that I had a dream that, you were able to collect this much in profits for the day. I gave him the number and I said, but then you called me and asked, what do you think I should do? Should I go ahead and close out the trades, and just allow the people to withdraw? Because he was operating, he was the PAM master, basically. And I said, I really think that you should just close out the trades. And he says, well, I think I can get this much more out of the day. And I said, I really think you should close out the trades. Next, and I called him that morning and I said, hey, this is what I had in my dream. And he had already seen the accuracy of my dreams. However, he was not a prophetic person. He did not understand and esteem and honor the prophetic like many of us who have been groomed in the prophetic come to understand. That being said, the next day he calls me and he says to me everything that I told him that was in my dream. And I thought he was joking with me. And I sat there in silence wondering, what is he doing? I don't understand. Like, what is he joking with me? Because he sounds totally serious. Is he actually forgetting that I just told him all of this stuff yesterday? And after he got done, and as I'm sitting there in silence, he says to me, oh my gosh. He said, your dream. I said, I know my dream. I thought you were, hang on, I gotta remove this. I says, I know my dream. I said, you're not joking with me? He says, no, I'm not joking with you. I said, he's like, dude, that was exactly everything that you stated in your dream. And I said, I'm telling you, man, these dreams are on fire. That's exactly what I said to him that day. And I'm like, this has just been an incredible journey. Guys, here's what I'm about to tell you. God knew this in August. And I stated from the beginning, that Christmas was significant according to the prophetic dream that I had. And the reason I'm telling you this is because of this here. The other day when the trader and I were on the phone, now this is the crypto trader, Now, by the way, the Forex trader, I do want to tell you, the Forex trader did end up getting in. Thank God. He is in now in XRP. He got in, smart guy. I'm glad that he reverted back to those dreams, confirming that he really needs to do this. Now, watch this. Now, please remember, guys, it's up to you to test the word. Not because I tell you I think it's a good idea. It's your job to do your due diligence, do whatever research you think you need, submit to any professional advisors you think you need, because I'm not a financial advisor. I am simply a minister as well as a crypto enthusiast, and that's why I call myself my DeFi guru. All right, watch this. Check it out. This is going to be interesting. So on this day, on December 10th, we're on the line, and he says to me, it's not looking good, Jon. And I said to him, well, I'm here to tell you, I know what your charts say, but God promised that he's going to do a miracle by Christmas, and we are right around the corner. So I can tell you that God is going to come through. And then just a few minutes later, it started trekking up. And I said, is this a big enough miracle for you now? Because the moment it broke that trend line was the moment of significant potential downward trend. However, you can see what happened where it came back up and back up and back up all across here. And it got really tight, really tight, really tight. This is called a squeeze, guys. This is called a squeeze when it starts to tighten up, and the breakout normally happens in the squeeze. And it's gotten so squeezed where even today you can see it has shrunk down to practically nothing. It's almost a flat line, guys. It's almost a flat line. It is so, it actually needs to, yeah, it's doing pretty good. All right. That being said, it needs to bust out a little bit, to be honest with you, because I'm trying to think if it's anywhere close. Not particularly. All right. So anyhow, this is the first day that it broke the trend line, it looks like, which was the 12th, 2 days after the one where it busted out the bottom. Okay. No, 3 days after. 1, 2, 3. No, this one, second day. So we are now in 1, 2, 3 days. This would be the fourth day that it's basically started to pierce that trend line. What I'm saying is, and what the trader has also said, is that congratulations to XRP holders, because right now, with it having broken out, and by the way, this is on the daily chart, which means every one of these candles represents a day. You understand? And so this is on the daily chart, and this is where we are in the place where, according to market analysts, they are saying that it's getting ready to absolutely break out. That it's basically imminent at this point. And I want you to hear me, because tomorrow's Monday morning. It may be your last chance. If some of you guys are sitting there wondering and you're like, listen, I thought I missed it previously. I'm here to tell you that if this thing does what the market analysts are saying they're going to do, and by the way, please understand, there's many people that have also prophesied this. In fact, I had a prophet, and I've shared this with you guys. I've shared this with you guys that I want to tell you guys something. I have said in this season, that The professionals are not going to be the ones that people look to in this season. That it's going to be the prophets. I'm here to tell you guys, God has pinned this thing so powerfully. He specifically said that XRP would begin taking off in a week to a week and a half period. And then in my second dream, it said 92 cents. Guys, that was 2 months and 3 weeks before XRP reached 92 cents after beginning to take off just 10 days before, exactly a week and a half. CEO Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, was on Fox News saying it's amazing what can happen in 10 days. Exactly the time period that God had prophesied in my dream just 2 months and 3 weeks prior, just 3 months prior. The second thing is that God said we're about to have an incredible Christmas, folks. Guys, it's going to be this Christmas. In my dream, I also saw myself taking a distribution on the 28th of December. Please understand, I believe that this is also very significant because other people have said that, and even the prophets have said that there will be a pullback. I also stated that I believe that it's actually, accurate. And then I had the dream, remember, with the 752 in it. I don't know if XRP is going to reach $7 or $5 by Christmas. But either way, I know the day that the Lord told me to begin to take my distribution, and that was on the 28th. And when I take my distribution on the 28th, remember the rest of my vision in my dream was to leave the majority of it in. I'm here to tell you, it's going to even go bigger. Doesn't mean there won't be a pullback. Who cares? The prophet that prophesied to me a couple of weeks ago, he said to me, in this prophetic word, he said that there's going to be a pullback. He said, and people are going to be wondering what's going on. And he said that, however, the Lord says this would be a good time to buy. And he said, if you have available capital, that is. And then he says, as soon as it's finished, it's going to actually soar. And he says, nothing is going to stop it. He said, nothing will be able to stop it. And he said, the first quarter of 2025, watch this. He said, the first quarter of 2025. You understand? He said, it's going to absolutely be incredible. So the first quarter of 2025, it's going to be incredible. The first quarter of 2025 is going to be incredible. Now watch this. Watch this. It won't be without a pullback. There's going to be a pullback, but that's why I believe God told me to take my distribution on the 28th, because I believe it's going to be max, profits at that time. I'm cool with it, whatever it is, because God knows. And what I'm going to do is take a portion and I'm going to leave the majority in. This is for me, I'm not telling you what to do. However, you're obviously welcome to make your own decisions. And so my point is, guys, is that we're about to see an incredible uptick in XRP is what I believe, guys. Please understand this. I believe we're going to see an incredible uptick in XRP. Brandon Biggs prophesied that it would go to $5 just like that. It hasn't gone to $5 yet. It's gone to $2.80, I think. My point is, guys, is that it could go to 5, it could go to 7. I'm not quite sure. But remember, the 752 is the potential that it would come from 7 all the way back down to 2. It could be. It could go to 7 and then all the way back down to 2, but it doesn't matter. Even if it goes down to 2, don't worry, because the word of the Lord that has come has said that even after that, it's going to take off. And remember, in my dream, this confirms it for me, because in my dream, the Lord showed me that I would be taking a distribution on the 28th of this month after Christmas to maximize those gains. And then the goal was to leave the majority in. So whether it goes up and then comes down and then goes back up is fine with me, because that's for the longer term hold. My distribution that I'm going to be taking on the 28th is going to be what God has allotted me from back in August, when he told me all of these things that have come to pass. So I'm sharing this with you because this may be your last chance. This may be your last chance. If you haven't noticed, everything that could have come to pass has come to pass. He said it would take off in a week to a week and a half. He showed me 92 cents. It took off in a week to a week and a half. And on the 10th day, exactly a week and a half, it hit 92 cents as the point of resistance. The CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, came on Fox News and he says it's amazing what can happen in a period of 10 days, citing the week and a half period that God had prophesied back in August, when you have the CEO coming on Fox News and saying what God said would happen months prior. You know you have a word from the Lord. Now, CNBC is coming out, releasing all over their news media that XRP for the lead. It's the leading crypto since the Trump election. Come on, does God know what he's doing? Of course he does. And this is why I'm here to tell you guys, it is time to begin to heed the word of the Lord. This may be the last chance for people to be able to get in. Because Monday, tomorrow, starts the institutional trading. Weekends are normally, dead, so to speak. There's not a lot of activity because that's not when the institutional traders get in. So the reason I'm telling you this is because we now have market analysis, guys. Watch this. I want to pull this up one more time. Market analysis of what God said in August of this year. We have market analysis of what God said back in August. And here we have right now, this is the 4th day that it is breaking out of the trend line of that bull flag that has been forming ever since December the 2nd. So for 13 days now, I guess I'll say for 11 days, this bull flag was forming. And as you can see, over the past 4 days, it's begun to break outside of that bull flag. And now we have substantial evidence of what all of the professional traders look for. Now saying that breakout is imminent. It is at hand. One of the traders that I follow posted on his social media and said, "Congratulations to all XRP holders. We have now completed a full day candle outside of the bull flag." He said the bull run for XRP is imminent. He said Now it's just a time of waiting for when it will begin to take off because it's guaranteed. My gosh. Folks, I'm telling you, God spoke this back in August. And for those of you guys who have been on the doubt train or the skepticism train or the whatever, if you want to fold and humble yourself potentially, if need be, and then, of course, test the word, and then, of course, determine your risk capital if you want to make that decision, not based upon anything I say, but because you might be standing in correction pertaining to the accuracy or inaccuracy of the prophetic word, right? And then you decide to make a decision that might have been different than the previous decision. That's up to you. But if you do decide, today might be your last chance. That's all I'm saying. And I wanted to get this out here because I'm telling you, I'm actually late for an appointment that I'm supposed to be on right now to make sure that I get this word out. I have done my absolute best. I have done my absolute best to steward this word in order to make sure that I am as clear as can possibly be so that not a single person will ever be able to come back to me in the coming days and say, I know that you did, I know that, but I just wish that you would have been more clear. I don't know how I could be any more clear. That being said, this is the end of today's broadcast. I did a video 2 days ago when this breakout began to occur, when we had completed a day's candle showing that it broke, that it landed outside of the bull flag, showing that this was happening. It took one more day for a professional trader to see it on the candle for him to make that decision. But we're there now. This is actually working on even another day. And I'm here to tell you guys, this is just looking sweet. We are at the 241 range right now. It's about to blow up, guys, and it could be as early as the morning. But what's really exciting and the most exhilarating for me is because today is the 15th of December. When God spoke in August in my dream and said, you and your family were going to have a good Christmas. And I told the audience that I did not think that the Christmas timeline being mentioned in my dream was just a Merry Christmas from God. I said that I believe it's very specific timing and that God is saying this as a reason and a deadline, so to speak. And here we are 10 days before Christmas where XRP is breaking out of a bull flag. That's one of the most exhilarating things for me. Not the fact that we're all about to, get provision that from God supernaturally for the coming days ahead, which may be troublesome, by the way. But the fact that God gets the glory all the while we get to ride on this adventure. It's an adventure. It's an adventure. It is one of the most exhilarating adventures to be led by the Spirit of God. It is one of the most exhilarating things to be living according to the Spirit of God. And I don't know about you, but I'm so over living according to carnal knowledge, information, rationale, logic, and all these different things that on its best day may have a 50-50 chance, There's nothing more solid than putting your hope and your trust on the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, for those of you guys who need a scriptural reference, God told Peter to go catch a fish, to where he led him on a journey to find resources, provision, and money, moolah, supernaturally. God, that is your biblical account that God can and will lead people to provision supernaturally through divine insight and divine revelation. That being said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys who have been a part of this from the beginning. If you want to donate, you are absolutely welcome to. The XRP wallet address is in the comments section. Of course, so is the other means as well. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being and standing with us. For those of you guys, even Kat says that she and her children were praying for XRP and have been praying for God's word to come to pass. And so that's one part of this big puzzle. Many of you guys have been interceding. Many of you guys have been playing your part. Amen. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys standing with us in faith, supporting us, praying for us, agreeing with us, believing in us, all of these different things that go along with us journeying together. And of course, making your own decisions. Making your own decisions. Amen. Appreciate you guys. Blessings. Take care.